Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Okay, today's the day where I feel like I'm ready to share my thoughts with you on the brand new Dermatology #1 primer. In full disclosure, I am a dermatology partner, affiliate, whatever you want to call it. So usually when there are new releases, Dermatology will typically send the product out to their ambassadors prior to the release so that we have a chance to play with it for a little while and then be able to tell you how we feel about it. Dermatology does not send, they don't send a script. They don't require us to say anything specific. Just share your honest thoughts. So that's what I'm going to be doing here today. Honestly, I got to admit, I wasn't really in the market for a new primer when this arrived because somewhat recently I reviewed the what's this called? The Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. This is their blurring balm powder, and I have been using this quite a bit. And I really like it. I think this is an absolutely fantastic primer for my oily skin type with enlarged pores. So I was really kind of pleased with this and didn't feel like I wanted to really test anything else. However, since it was sent, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and use it for a couple weeks here and see how it does, not only with my oily skin, but also does this clog my pores? Does this cause me to break out? This is a silicone-based primer, and for me in the past, certain types of silicone primers have definitely clogged my pores. I feel like have just felt very heavy on the skin, have caused, you know, some whiteheads for me. So I'm always a little bit hesitant when I see a very traditional primer like this. And this reminds me of the primers that I used to purchase back in the day from like Smashbox. There was a time where a lot of companies were coming out with different silicone-based primers. And yeah, I didn't always love them. Usually I would end up getting super oily towards like the early part of the afternoon. For whatever reason, a lot of those formulations didn't jive with my oily skin, even though they were geared towards working with an oily skin type. It didn't always work the best for me. So I was very curious to try this. This definitely has that very, very typical silicone feel to it. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like here on my hands. This amount right here would definitely be enough for me to cover the key areas of my face. So I have not been spreading this all over my face. I've been using it in my forehead, my cheeks, my nose, and my chin. That might seem like the vast majority of my face, but I'm not like spreading this throughout, if that makes sense. I just sort of pat it in to the areas where I feel like I need the most in terms of not only oil control, but also blurring the look of my pores. Having oily skin means that I do have enlarged pores. I feel like the two typically go hand in hand, and blurring my pores has been the name of the game for many years of my life. But this amount here definitely a little bit goes a long way. Like this basically covers like the entire top of my hand very easily. And what I appreciate about this specific primer is its ability to dry down super fast. A lot of the silicone primers that I was using in the past felt like they needed just a little bit of time to, I guess, soak into the skin or just really become one with the skin. This one very quickly, like it really doesn't feel like there's any like product on the top of my hand at all. It just feels very smooth. This has filled in all of like the little cracks and lines that I have on my hand because my hands are kind of dry right now. So this definitely, in terms of like application, it's kind of a breeze. It dries down very, very quickly. So anyway, let's go ahead and read through the claims here, and then I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about my experience, who I would recommend this primer for, and if I recommend it over the Yummy Skin. So let's get into it here. I'm just going to pull up the website real quick. So they say, this is the primer you've been hoping for. Silky, ultra lightweight, and enriched with vitamin E. This primer heals and protects while creating a smooth canvas for makeup. Soften the appearance of fine lines, blur pores, and seal in your skincare with this clear primer. Antioxidants, including vitamins A and E, help to protect the skin from environmental stressors. This dreamy emollient texture envelops your skin, allowing for even tone and improved texture. They say that this is ultra lightweight. It is also a buildable primer that acts like skincare. It preps for makeup and foundations. It's ideal for all skin types, according to them, and it provides a blurring effect, basically for makeup application. So it comes in a pretty typical, I would say, primer type packaging. Just a little tube here. It is 1 ounce. Yep, 1 ounce of product, 28 grams, if you will. You can purchase this for $38 from the Dermatology website. Obviously, my discount code applies. And if they are having any type of sale, it will be listed on the website. But I know they're doing a Valentine's Day sale. I'm actually filming this on Valentine's Day, so I hope it was a great Valentine's Day for you. They're doing this build your own bundle where if you just, order from the website, you can get 20% off of 2 products. If you order 3 or more products, you can get 25% off, but you can just use my discount code for the 20% off and you don't have to buy 2 items. So I'll put the discount code in the description box down below. You just put that in when you check out. But let's go ahead and let's talk about some of these claims here. So in terms of this being a really lightweight primer, I would absolutely agree with that. This does not feel as heavy as a lot of the other silicone-based primers that I've tried in the past. By the way, there is methicone in here, dimethicone cross-polymer. This also has silica in the formula. It has dimethicone/vinyl dimethicone, has cross-polymer. It also has rice bran extract. It has the sunflower seed extract, rosemary leaf extract. It has that vitamin E that we were talking about. So there's honestly not a ton of ingredients in this formula, and all of them seem to be jiving quite well with my skin. I'm obviously wearing this primer today. Now, I opt to wear powder foundation. That just works a little bit better for my oily skin type. I have not tried this with liquid foundation. I cannot tell you how it wears with liquid foundation, but I can tell you that it does prolong the wear of my powder foundation longer into the day. So this does help to keep my oil, I guess, suppressed, if you will, or absorbs some of that oil as it comes to the surface towards the afternoon hours. And it really keeps my skin looking very beautiful and soft and hydrated. I do not find that this particular primer wants to pill up on me. It has not interacted negatively with any of the skincare items. Pairs really well with the SPF that I put on. So no pilling whatsoever. Gives me that longer wear that I'm looking for. This would be easy to travel with. It's pretty compact. I think the price point is fair, especially if you're gonna get either 20 or 25% off, depending on obviously how many things you purchase from the website, if you wanna do that bundle of 3 items. But that being said, do I think that this is better than the blurring powder or the blurring balm powder? Yeah, blurring balm powder, which is kind of, I think, a strange name for this. Like, this never feels like a powder on my skin per se. It does dry down, but it never feels powder-like. I don't know. I think I still kind of prefer this one in terms of, I do think that the Danessa Myricks for my super oily skin definitely tends to go a little further into the day. But this definitely gets me to the latter afternoon hours before I feel like I have to blot. This one just gets me a little bit further into the day. So I would say if I were going to a special event and I was really needing my makeup to last all day long, this would definitely still be the primer that I would use. Price point, I think they're kind of on par with each other. Obviously, if you hate sticking your fingers into things, the Danessa Myricks here is a little bit tricky. I have to admit, I don't love this packaging, but also how else am I going to get this? But like, I feel like this wouldn't do well in a squeeze tube, if you will. So that being said, I always have clean hands when I come in here to do my makeup. And even before I start putting anything on my face, I have these like antibacterial wipes that I will typically use just to make sure that I am not contaminating any of my makeup products when I stick my fingers into them. So overall, I think that this is a really great primer. And I would say if you're in the market for a new primer, if you have normal skin, combination skin, oily skin, I think this would work quite well for you. If you have a dry skin type that tends to be prone to texture, you're probably not going to use something like this. I find that these do tend to kind of cling to texture a little bit, and then if I'm having like a lot of like flakiness or something, if my skin is dry for some reason, it does make powder foundation tend to want to catch on any primer that I'm wearing. So as long as you don't have a ton of texture on your skin, I think this is definitely worth trying. If there's nothing in here that you are sensitive to, if you have a sensitive skin type, you kind of know what ingredients to look for. I think this is a pretty safe, kind of universal product to check out. Again, if you're in the market for a new primer. Do I think that it like goes above and beyond anything else that I've tried? I wouldn't say that. I just think it's a great primer that gets the job done, helps to prolong the wear of my makeup, and that's really what I'm looking for with any of the primers that I try out, is just to keep that oil suppressed for a little bit longer into the day so that I can get away with not blotting. That being said, there is no fragrance to this. It seems to not break my skin out at all. I don't feel like I have had like an uptick in sebaceous filaments or anything like that. It removes really easily with my Pharmacy Green Clean makeup cleansing balm at the end of the night, and leaves my skin feeling soft and looking really pretty. So I don't have any footage of me applying this. However, I do plan on doing a chit chat get ready with me video next week. So you'll see this when I apply the foundation part of my routine. So make sure you're subscribed, and you'll be able to see it in action then. But in terms of, do I give it a thumbs up? I do. I definitely give this one thumbs up. I think it's quite impressive that it works so well on my oily skin, especially since a lot of other like silicone-based primers in the past kind of almost made my skin feel oilier towards the latter part of the day. This does not do that. Really does seem to really sink into the skin. So 2 thumbs up for sure. I will put a link to the Dermatology primer in the description box right below this video. I'll also put a link to the Danessa Myricks. I think this is worth checking out. Again, if you're in the market, this one has done quite well for me. And, you know, if you would just rather purchase something from Sephora, you know, obviously the Danessa Myricks would be a good way to go. Let me know if you guys have any questions at all. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Please subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.